Well, President Donald Trump is threatening to expand federal law enforcement presence across the United States. Trump said today that he'll deploy troops to Chicago next. That comes as a federal judge has ruled that Trump's use of the National Guard during LA immigration protests this summer was illegal. The CBC's Lisa Shing joins me now from Washington. So, Lisa, Trump's still moving ahead with his plan to deploy troops to Chicago despite the federal ruling today. I mean, how is he justifying this move when the law's not on his side?
Yeah, and, you know, I think with Donald Trump, anything kind of goes, right? If it's his will, he will somehow find a way until the courts tell him otherwise, I suppose. He did confirm from the Oval Office that he's sending federal law enforcement to Chicago, saying, we're going in pretty definitively, although we don't really have a timeline of when exactly that will happen yet. There are reports it could be as early as this week. So Trump pointing to what he said was a success in LA back in the spring when he sent about 4,000 National Guard troops to help law enforcement quell those anti-ICE protests there. That action, as you said, David, something a federal judge ruled was illegal in California. So in Illinois, lawmakers are pushing back against this federalization. Governor J.B. Pritzker saying while he isn't against help from the feds, sending in troops is against the law and a temporary measure to deal with the crime issue. So have a listen to Trump on this.
I didn't say when, but the answer is, look, Chicago's very interesting because I watched Pritzker get up and say about, we don't need help, we're safe, but 2 weeks ago, they had 6 people murdered, and they had 24 people hit by bullets. Last week, as you know, it was 7 people, 24 people hit, and 7 people died.
So Trump, as we're hearing, is using crime in Chicago as justification. So it is something the city is grappling with. While stats show that it is down generally, Labor Day weekend was violent. So have a listen to Governor J.B. Pritzker, who just spoke a little while on this, on what he says is an overstep on Donald Trump's part.
Chicago does not want troops on our streets. I also have experience asking the president for assistance, just to have the rug pulled out from underneath me when execution meets reality. I refuse to play a reality game show with Donald Trump again. What I want are the federal dollars that have been promised to Illinois and Chicago for violence prevention programs that have proven to work.
Now, Trump also pointing to what he said was a successful operation here in D.C., federalizing National Guard troops here and bringing more from states like Louisiana and West Virginia. But I should point out that the district is under federal control, really, because it doesn't have a state government. So there's a lot more leeway for Trump to do that kind of action here. So the situation different in other states, and lawmakers there promising to fight this move, and they say, Pritzker saying that he's ready to do it in the courts. Yeah, he's normalizing it, though, by putting him in D.C. and having done it in L.A., even with what the judges are saying. But interestingly, Lisa, his appearance today, it also dispelled this internet theory, like Trump's not dead, right? That he was dead or very ill. There was this, it was rampant. I mean, what did the very much alive president have to say about that today? Yes, the very much alive president was asked about whether he was dead, I guess. A wide-ranging number of questions he fielded in the Oval Office earlier, David. But over the weekend, because we hadn't officially heard from Trump in about a week, and, for this president, that is somewhat unusual, right? And so we know he loves the spotlight. We know he loves opining. And so, there were internet rumors, essentially, saying that he was of ill health, that it went as far to speculate that he had died. So when this was put to Trump, he dispelled that, kind of blamed fake news, again, a common refrain from him, but also saying that he was very active over the weekend, pointing to several posts he made on Truth Social. And also, as I also received emails from the press pool, and he was publicly seen visiting his golf course in Virginia over the weekend. So he is, yes, very much alive, David. Okay, the social media corners, they got it wrong. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. This is CBC's Lisa Shing in Washington.